Hello everyone, welcome to Debug and Decode. Today let's start our React.js tutorial, one of the most popular JavaScript frameworks out there for front-end development. In this video, let's check what is React.js, why it is popular, and also what we need to do before getting into React.js. So without further ado, let's start. Before we dive into React.js, let's quickly understand what is the so-called JavaScript. JavaScript is a versatile, high-level programming language primarily used to make websites interactive. It's everywhere, from adding dynamic behavior to websites to building complex web applications. Alongside HTML and CSS, JavaScript is one of the core technologies of the web. It enables developers to build everything from small interactive widgets to full-fledged web apps. Now let's talk about JavaScript frameworks. Frameworks are collections of pre-written JavaScript code that provide developers with a structured way to build web applications. Popular JavaScript frameworks include React.js, Angular, Vue.js, and Svelte. These frameworks speed up development by providing reusable components, handling the complexities of state management, routing, and rendering data efficiently. So, what's the difference between plain JavaScript and using frameworks like React? Let's now look into it. With plain JavaScript, you write every function and logic from scratch, which can be time-consuming and requires to give more effort for larger projects. On the other hand, frameworks like React provide pre-built structures that make your code cleaner, more efficient, with less time and effort. For example, look at these two codes to create a button with Event Listener. One written in plain JavaScript and another in React. You can see which one is easy to write, maintain, and reusable from this. So you may understood now why we use frameworks. Let us look into it furthermore. The main reason to use JavaScript frameworks is to simplify complex tasks and boost productivity. The frameworks helps in building scalable and maintainable applications while reducing repetitive tasks. For every framework, they will have certain features, such as virtual DOM in React, two-way data binding in Angular, and reactive data management in Vue. But for now, let's focus on React.js and let's check what makes it unique compared to other JavaScript frameworks mentioned before. First, React is a library, not a framework. This means it focuses solely on building the user interface, letting you pick other tools for routing, state management, etc. And as I said earlier, React uses a virtual DOM, which optimizes the updating of web pages, making the UI more responsive and faster. So if you're wondering about the virtual DOM and the traditional or real DOM are both used in web development for managing and updating user interfaces, but they operate in fundamentally different ways, with the virtual DOM offering performance improvements in modern JavaScript frameworks like React. To know more about virtual DOM, let's check what DOM means. The Document Object Model, or DOM, is a programming interface that represents the structure of a web page as a tree of objects, typically HTML elements. It allows JavaScript to dynamically access and update content, structure, and styles. So what's virtual DOM then? The virtual DOM is an abstraction of the real DOM. It is a lightweight, in-memory representation of the actual DOM elements, used primarily by modern JavaScript frameworks like React. It allows for efficient updates by minimizing the interaction with the real DOM. This process provides a performance boost for complex, dynamic apps, leading to faster and more efficient updates. This makes it ideal for modern frameworks like React. Next, let's check why React.js and what are its advantages. React.js has a number of advantages that make it the go-to choice for freshers to experienced developers. Some of the advantages are component-based architecture. React's reusable UI components make development modular and scalable. Next one is fast rendering with virtual DOM. React updates only the changed elements, ensuring fast performance and avoids expensive DOM refreshes. Next, strong community and ecosystem. With a larger community around the world, you'll find plenty of resources like this very video you're watching, plus tutorials, and third-party libraries for better and dynamic UI interactions. Last but least, React is cross-platform development, which means you can use React with React Native to build mobile apps for iOS and also for Android. So with all these things, what does it take to learn or work on React.js? Well, before you jump into React.js, there are a few key concepts you should be comfortable with. 1. The HTML and CSS. Understanding basic web structuring and styling it with style sheets are crucial. 2. Obviously JavaScript. Familiarity with ES6 features such as arrow functions, classes, modules, promises, and asynchronous synchronous functions are very much important. Next two are optional but good to have concepts, like the DOM manipulations. While React uses a virtual DOM, understanding how the DOM works in plain JavaScript is a good to have knowledge, as it may help you to scale your projects and to keep it in optimized form. Last one is actually optional but is usable if you're to work in a team. The version controls. Knowing a little about GitHub, GitLabs, or even Bitbucket can help you to keep in track of your project. So with all those things said, now let's check what it takes in hardware and software aspect. To start building with React, you don't need a supercomputer, but there are some minimum requirements for smooth development. First thing is obviously the processor. It's safe to say that to have dual core processor if you're a fresher and higher processor if you are experienced. Next, about the storage. Considering our RAM, 4 GB is good, but 8 GB or higher is recommended for fast and better performance with multiple apps running. Next, you need to install Node.js, as it includes npm, the package manager you'll use to install React and other tools. Last, a good code editor of your preference. It can be Atom Sublime or VS Code too. If you have these, then it's time to create or work on your React.js. Time to end our video. Now that you know what React.js is, its advantages and how to get started, you're ready to jump into React and start building amazing web applications. So on our next video, we'll create a new React application, discuss the folder structures, and design a simple form interface. Until then, do learn more. Also make sure to subscribe this channel for more tutorials, tips, and coding challenges, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any updates.